Hello there. But I'm European, they wail. The trouble for them is, so am I. And the EU is not Europe. Firstly, please subscribe and like this video to give my channel a boost. And I'm always uploading new content, so please do check back daily. And a big thanks to my Patreon and PayPal supporters. The Rejoiners and the anti-Brexit media will never give up, will they? If you want to know whether or not the UK is permanently free from the clutches of the European Union, just take a look at the outpourings of anti-Brexit bile from the likes of the BBC, The Independent and The Guardian, as well as the politicians and political influencers who are given a platform by them to try and undermine the single greatest exercise in democracy this country has ever seen. At some point or other, the so-called impartial and unbiased press must put their snowflake journalists to bed with a nice cup of hot chocolate and wrap them up in cotton wool before they have yet another meltdown and write another love letter, opinion piece, on how marvellous they think the EU is, which is in fact little more than a passive-aggressive snub to the 17.4 million electors who voted to leave the European Union. The fawnings over what they incorrectly call Europe by these journalists and influencers, while they decry anything connected to the UK, really is vomit-inducing. One assumes that as they want to identify as European, first and foremost, that they are as happy with Putin's rule in Russia as they are with Macron in France and Merkel in Germany. Yes, because Russia is chock-a-block full of Europeans, as it is part of the continent. And the EU lovers point fingers at Brexiteers for daring to be proud to be British and call them names in the process. But then they themselves go on to puff out their chests and proudly declare themselves as Europeans. It's almost a form of racism in its own right. And they apply that European identity to the EU. Wonder what all those Europeans outside of the EU, including Brexiteers in the UK, think about that. And yes, the UK is still part of Europe, and we are Europeans. But the UK comes first for us. But the pro-EU types have convinced themselves that their faux identity is superior to yours as they peer down their noses at you. All driven by their belief that the UK and the people in it, that's you and me, are not worth the candle anymore. That the UK must be carved up and handed over to those wonderful people in Brussels to run. And they take every opportunity to rebrand as xenophobia the love of the UK and the democratic outcome of successive EU Parliament and UK general elections that returned Brexiteer results. No wonder they like the undemocratic EU, where a very thin veneer of democracy covers a bureaucratic machine. Many of these pro-EU pundits are incapable of processing the fact that their metropolitan liberal left ideological musings are at odds with the majority of Brits. Their writings decrying Brexiteers and the public at large are just spillover from their time spent in upper middle class student union halls, where political debate is based more on theoretical observations and Marxist echo chambers than on real life experience. And it's not just the press. Social media is littered with rejoiners calling themselves a European, as if it's so virtuous. It's not virtuous. It's merely choosing another but misdirected identity over that of the country you live in. So be aware and look for yourselves at the scrawlings within these papers and the pro-EU nationalistic claims of the rejoiners to know exactly how unready the EU lovers are to give up on their European self-identification. But just keep reminding them that Russia is also a part of Europe. because in reality they are believers in the EU empire. And I'll say it again, the EU is not Europe. Anyway, if you want to hear more from me, please don't forget to subscribe and also press that little bell, or you won't get any notifications. And if you want to see more of me, buy a mug with my mug on it by following the link in the descriptions box below, and support me on Patreon or PayPal. So what do you think about this? Please share and comment, and thank you for watching.